Hello everybody, my name's Brian and welcome to take 2 of the Sneak and Show Atraxa video. If anyone's wondering why this is take 2, go ahead and look at the shorts on the channel. It explains it nicely. But here we have one of the few decks I would consider myself quite good with, Legacy Sneak and Show. I've been playing it for literal years, and this is a version of the deck that I had been playing for a little bit. So pretty much what we're doing here is we're trying to use either Sneak Attack or Show and Tell to cheat out a large creature, like Atraxa or Emrakul. Either of these creatures can close out the game on their own, but Emrakul obviously annihilates your opponent's board and deals 15 flying damage, and Atraxa lets you dig for 10. Now, why am I running Atraxa rather than Griselbrand? Well, there's been splits of X number of Griselbrands, X number of Atraxas, some Archon of Cruelties, some Vesuvian Drifters, so on and so forth, but I really wanted to try out Atraxa to see how it feels. Now, the benefits of Atraxa is it doesn't matter what your life total is, whereas Griselbrand requires you to have at least 7 life, or in reality 8, for you to activate the ability. Atraxa, first of all, can't be Pithing Needle, it just comes down, and can also be pitched to Force of Will. So your free counter spells can work off an Atraxa if you absolutely needed to. Now the downsides of Atraxa is it can get spell blasted. The rest of the deck is pretty much just a handful of cantrips as seen here, Permission Magic and Force of Will and Daze, a little bit of fast mana with Lotus Petal and Simian Spirit Guide, and an alternative win con in Omniscience. 19 lands, not too many, 2 City of Traders, 3 Ancient Tombs for our soul lands. We also have a handful of fetches, 3 volcanic islands, and 4 basics in 3 islands, 1 mountain. The sideboard is a bit of a hodgepodge. We have Arcane Artisans if we go up against things that are also trying to cheat things into play and we don't want to help them. Surgical Extractions to either protect our combo or to go after our opponent's combo. Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast to try and fight counterspell battles. A couple of Abrades, which maybe should be something else, but I've been liking Abrades thus far. A couple of Blood Moons to really lock out the Orcish Bowmaster decks that are not playing any basics anymore. A Defense Grid, again, to help with counter spell battles. 2 Grafdigger's Cage for graveyard strategies, along with our Surgical Extractions. And probably newest addition, outside of the Atraxas, are 2 Furies taking place of our Pyroclasms to come down, take things out of our way, try and make us survive a little bit. If you ever cast a Fury, something has gone horribly wrong, but at least these don't get taxed by Thalia. And there we have it. I mean, it's a very simple deck if I'm being honest. It's play spell, put chunky thing into play, but let's go ahead and do a couple of one-on-one matches and see how we do. Join me, won't you? All right, we have won a die roll. Hip hip hooray. Let's see what our hand is though. A volcanic island, a mountain. We could try it. Now, this might get blown out of the water by a wasteland. The thing about this deck is you don't really need a ton of mana. The volcanic islands are there for when you're trying to kind of push out like a sneak attack sort of turn. But truth be told, we're going to ponder off the bat because we don't have a fetch land yet. What's unfortunate about this is we really can't keep it. We kind of need land, don't we? Because we can keep the Show and Tell, and then draw Emrakul, and then hope we can... but if we get wastelanded, we just get blown out. No, I think we have some time here. We'll shuffle. Draw a Daze, all right. So our opponent tries to go after our hand. We have a Daze. Go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. City of Traders, probably into a... You're Monolith. I'm just gonna... This looks like Karn Echoes. I'm just gonna slow this down a touch. So Karn Echo uses the 1 ring to draw a million cards and win with half a dozen in different ways, if I'm being honest. We'll just play the Volcanic Island and pass. We have the Brainstorm, and we have a fetch now as well. So we're just trying to look for soul lands and payoffs. So they float 2 there. They got to get rid of that. What are they going to try and cast now? Karn? Yeah, Karn. Oh, it's Scion of Urza. Either way, I'm just going to stop that. Try and, grind them down a bit. Show and Tell. Okay, so we get rid of Mountain. We put back Brainstorm. We'll redraw Brainstorm, but we'll shuffle away the Mountain. And we'll try and find something good here. We'll go ahead and pass because we actually don't have anything to do, if I'm being honest. If we can find a creature, we can Show and Tell out Sneak Attack and then go after them with the Sneak Attack. But we'll see what their turn is. Their Ancient Tomb. Grim Monolith. Well, we'll crack this. Go get another Volk. Brainstorm. This is bad because this means we're going to have 2 turns where we do Bupkiss. We can go ahead and put Sneak Attack back and we can put Island back. The problem is now Our opponent probably wins. There's Karn. It's gonna make a 2/2, or opponent chooses one card. Put that card into. Okay, so we're gonna give them a card. You can have another Grim Monolith. If they don't have the key, the Grim Monolith's actually that's. The problem is, like, I don't want to play out Ancient Tomb. I don't want to play out Lotus Petal. I don't want them to know what we're doing if we're just gonna sit here and die. So I'll play a basic island and just pass. We still have one more turn of dead draw, but we might be able to draw our way out of this if our opponent's gonna take a minute to get started. Because we really just need to find anything at this point. They're Ancient Tomb. Take a guy. It's a 2/2. It's a weird construct token. Karn the Great Creator. That's fine. I mean, our Lotus Petal is not going to work anymore, but I'm hoping they don't just win next turn. Because we're going to draw a sneak attack, and then after that, we might draw something cool, or we might just sit here, do nothing, and die. What are you going to go get? Might just scoop off this. Manifold Key. Oh, okay, so this is how they're going to start to go. This is how they go fast, because now they can use the Manifold Key to untap Grim Monolith to get more mana. Yep, go for it, buddy. I think we're going to be one turn too slow. The Grim Monolith, sure. Ankh of Mishra, sure thing. Oh, and another Ankh of Mishra. Even better. So next turn, I'm going to start taking 6. I'm gonna draw sneak attack. Okay, so we have a decision to make. They're going to be able to play something really big, but it's not gonna have haste. So they're gonna deal us 6, probably more like 7. We go down to 16 playing the Ancient Tomb to get out sneak attack. So then we go to 9. That's more like actually 7 because of the second Ankh of Mishra. Oh, okay, so we play Ancient Tomb 18 to 14. We play sneak attack to 12. They can just go get a Walking Ballista, and that's 6, so 5, 4, 3, and then 2. I have to assume they can just do it at that. Well, I guess it depends on their draw. Oh wait, no, because they'll just play another artifact and we'll die. Okay, we're gonna scoop here and keep them in the dark. So that's fun. We have some Abrades, which are nice, but that's about it. The Blood Moons, maybe, but I think what we do is we take out a Preordain. I'm even going to take out 2 Lotus Petals. I'm going to put in the Abrades, and I'm going to put in 1 Blood Moon, and I'm going to try that. All right, we only have 1 land, but we have a bunch to do with it. If with our 2 Ponders we can find a Soul Land, I don't think they'll have much they can do about Emrakul. It would also be surprising if, based on our last game, they look at us and they're like, oh, this is, oh, perfect. So, boobity, bobbity, boobity. If based on our last game, they're like, oh, we're playing against Sneak and Show. It'd be interesting to see, oh, I shuffled. Whoopsie. If after our last game they looked at us and they were like, oh, this guy's playing Sneak and Show. See, I was talking and I wasn't paying attention, but now I have a Force of Will and a Daze. Ursa Saga, all right, sure. What are you playing for 1 mana, though? Mox Diamond. Well, that apparently you have more than 1 mana. Grim Monolith. Well, we're not going to draw a Soul Land anymore, so begrudgingly, because of my misplay, I'm going to Daze that. So, Opal, you can have a Mox. Please draw land. And it's always fun when you punt a game into the sun, right? Ay, 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 ay. 1 mountain. Any order. Well, yeah. Atraxa Grand. Okay, so I punted this one into the sun, but sometimes you just have to show those games off when you whoopsie yourself. Again, I'm not trying to make myself look like a pro Magic player here. This is just me enjoying myself with my Magic decks, but, you know, sometimes you screw up. Oh, no, we're never going to see a land again. Shame on Brian. All right, so if they try and cast anything, we're going to counter it, but I feel like they're just going to go get, like, what? A float of mana. They get to go get the 3rd artifact to turn on Mox Opal. Like, what's the 3rd thing? Like, Chrome Mox, maybe? Or can't be another Mopal is the thing, because the first Mopal's not on. Shadow Spear, that's fine. So they have 3 mana now. Trinisphere. Well, time to tell them what we're doing, because if we lose this game, we just lose the game. On deck. Preordain. All right, please show me lands. Blood Moon, no. Hey, that 1 of Mountain came back. It likes us. We know it likes us because it came back. All right, so if we draw a land next turn, we might have a chance here, because then we probably play out Atraxa trying to find the missing pieces. Okay, if they stumble, that's good. However, we're also stumbling here, because why would we draw lands? Oh, Shimmy and Spirit Guide, you count. Atraxa. Ensnaring Bridge. So they knew we were on show and tell? Well, the good thing is we found the Abrade. So Abrade, Emrakul, no, not Emrakul, we don't need Atraxa, Sneak Attack. Oh, they saw the Abrades. Yeah, so they called out. We were on Sneak and Show. Fancy that. So we'll take the Dazes. I don't think that Blood Moon would have done anything. Hey, maybe put the fast mana back in, like Preordain back in. Then I can put 1 thing in that I want to put in. Maybe the Arcane Artisan. Try an Arcane Artisan. Try that. All right, this will work. We found the Arcane Artisan, and we have 2 Atraxas in hand. Yep. What do we draw? We draw a Scalding Tarn. That doesn't actually change any of our plans. So City of Traders, Lotus Petal, this and a blue, and play Arcane Artisan. So next turn, we're going to have an Atraxa, which will be nice. Arcane Artisan was like a big deal, like back in the day. It actually got expensive. Its price has since crashed down because like it's literally just played in Sneak and Show and nowhere else. You can make a thing if you have a Soul Land. So that's your whole turn, huh? Okay, they make a 1/1. While I would love to do this next bit at instant speed, we're going to lose our City of Traders the moment we play a land, so we're going to have to do this slow. Right, that island, activate Arcane Artisan. Look, we get rid of an Atraxa. And we win the match, so after the punt, we managed to get it back. Let's go to game 2. All right, we won the die roll again. I'm not entirely sure what's happening, but I like it. Yeah, this is fine. We have 2 islands, a Volk, and a Ponder, and a Show and Tell, so look at me. I could be any deck in Legacy. Cool. So, Flooded Strand last, then Lotus Petal, then Simeon. Shuffle your library? No, thank you. Be very specific on the no, Brian. You've been known to get that wrong. All right, what's our opponent up to? Oh no, they could have counters. Oh man, and next turn we're gonna draw a land. I'm gonna take it slow. I have the Force of Will. I mean, it looks like I'm Miracles. I went basic. Please just use your mana. No, don't not use your mana. Let it strand. Really hoping to bait this guy out. I need one more blue card to make this work. Or I could actually even draw Embercool. That'd be fine too. Underground Sea. So let's see. Gotta get a no, okay, Swamp. So it could be a Death Shadow deck. Here comes Bowmath. Okay, Fairy Mastermind. Or yeah, you can hit me for 2. 2 is not what I'm worried about. Put a stop in my upkeep to crack the fetch. I'm gonna take the island because I'm still trying to look like I'm not Show and Tell. Mountain. Just hard cast Force of Will at this point. I'm gonna play the basic mountain and just see. I hope that doesn't show my hand too much. I didn't want to play out the Volk because there's no way the Fairy Mastermind deck doesn't have E-Dasher Octopus. Sure, doesn't have counters right now. They definitely have counters. I don't know how many counters, but I'm willing to bet there's at least one Force of Will going on. Yep, they attack. You get to draw an extra card, which is not good for us. We've done nothing this game, by the way. There's absolutely nothing trying to draw our way out of this. Please, a blue card. Okay, that even counts. So Volk, Petal, 1, 2, 3, Show and Tell. We just want it to be a Force, because I don't think they'll have more than one Force. Oh, resolved. I'll just play Atraxa. Another Fairy Mastermind. Okay. Stifling the Atraxa trigger. Brutal. Well, it's still a 7/7. Hopefully, they don't have any way of killing that. Wasteland's fine. You can waste our Volk. Murktide. Sure thing. Only a 4/4. At this point, we could even find a sneak attack and do well. That's fine. Still have the Simian Spirit Guide, so still counts. A Ponder. All right. Nope, any order, try again. Another Atraxa, and they get to draw a whole bunch of cards. If I attack, they have to trade in all of their flyers. Probably should have done that before I played Ponder. You want to trade in literally all of your flyers. Yeah, cool. I'm just gonna cast Simian Spirit Guide to block their Sea Dasher. Wish I hadn't given them 2 free cards, but yes, I am bad at Magic the Gathering. Ooh, Snuff Out. No, we can try and save that. Spell Pierce, you say? Okay. Well, getting just stomped by the Sea-Fairy Mastermind deck. We have 1 card in hand. I have to assume that they have counters still, because like they had a Spell Pierce, so why wouldn't they have more? Okay. Oh, no. Stop, Brian. I tried to undo my upkeep stop, and I accidentally yielded through my turn. So for those of you who are still watching, welcome to the punt hour. That hurts. I mean, I'll never know if that would have resolved, because they're going to get to draw an extra card now, and at this point they can just start hard casting forces, but you know, sometimes you just, you do a whoopsie. Or in the case of this video, multiple whoopsies per game. Polluted Delta, sure. Do I get a sneak attack? Spell Pierce, okay. What? I can't crack the Polluted... Okay, we're just gonna scoop here. I have punted so much here. That was brutal. And the best part is I had no one to blame but myself. But Furies are good. What else is going to be good? Blasts are going to be good. I think that's about it. What do we take out? Take out a couple of Preordains. Take out 1 Daze. Take out 1 Omniscience. Try that. All right, so that was embarrassing. Okay, this seems fine. We have some land. We have some counter spells. Try and fight our opponent a bit. Hopefully we draw a soul land or just a Show and Tell. But yeah, that's going on. You know what? We're just going to do stuff in our end step, because apparently when I try and do stuff in my upkeep, I play myself. Oh, he's going to Stifle. Oh, good. Man, this dude is really just taking me to town, huh? Well, here's my Volk. Please wasteland it. Man, you say you're okay with a deck once online, and the internet is just ready to prove you wrong. wrong. Okay. I mean, show me how it's countered. Cluster Storm. Yep, not gonna counter that. Would have been nice if I had 1 extra mana, huh? The real trick when you get absolutely wrecked like this is to just try and keep composure and just try and keep thinking straight. You know, it looks really bad. Don't get me wrong. Especially if I proceed to draw not a mana source this next turn. Did draw a mana source. Okay, so let's not tell him what we're up to. The thing is, this guy knows what he's doing, and he definitely just brought in a bunch of counters. Hydroblast. So that's the world we live in. We had that 1 extra mana. Boy, could we have fought that? But I apparently play like I've never played Magic the Gathering before, nor have I ever played this deck or Legacy. You know what, buddy? Your turn to not get your spell to resolve. I did that only because I assume he has the Murktide, and he would have a mana open if he Murktide anyway. Endilion Click. No, I'm good, man. It's not even the screwing with my hand, because my hand's awful. It's just the I don't want you to have a creature. All right, so now he's down to 3. I'm down to 2. It would be great if his hand was just nonsense at this point, like mine is. But this is what happens when you play Show and Tell, is you get these hands that just have these creatures that don't do anything on their own. Like, I'm never going to hard cast either. Sure. Just keep getting lands out, slowly try and, well, hey, if I get 2 more Lotus Petals, I can just try and hard cast Atraxa. Got that going for me, which is nice. Okay, so I think his hand's full of counters. I think this match is over. Especially if we keep drawing land like this. My word. You know we only have 18 lands, right, deck? You're just going to keep handing me mana sources like that? You can brainstorm. I literally have nothing to do, but I'm hoping you don't know that. Please, no more lands. Hard casting Fury. I have literally nothing else going on. Their hand is full of counters. So let's see how many counters. They have Hydroblast? That'd be fun. Drown in the Lock. Ron, if you're watching, that one's for you. This is what you run into, and this is why a lot of people have started to run more. I literally have one here, defense grids. This is not the list I've been running in paper as of late. I've been running one that's been playing One Rings, but oh, good, I got my Lotus Petal back. It's like drawing a land. Yeah. Defense grid would have been a little bit better in this matchup. In fact, this is why I'm playing one-on-one matches and not a league, because I'm gonna go ahead and wow. Okay, so you can have Bowmasters in a land. Actually, wait. I'd rather you have Mastermind in a land, a Bowmaster. Yeah, you can waste me. None of this matters. They have Bowmasters, which will be coming out. They have 4,000 counterspells in hand, because apparently they're playing Drown in the Lock in Legacy. That's a thing. Sure. I think we're just going to draw the next card, and we're going to call this Punt Central, and we're going to go to game 3. Yep, more lands. We're out of here. Would have been more lands. Okay. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. Next game. Actually, super quick. Hello, Mr. Sideboard. I should have more grids. What are these? Oh, I have up to 3 grids, huh? What if I just don't play blasts and just put in more grids? Maybe that'll be better in the old fighting. Let's try that and go into round 3. Won the first, lost the second. Going to round 3. Let's try that. Lost a die roll. Now we're in familiar territory here. 1 land, man. Technically it's 2 land. I mean, there's a lot of payoffs and not a lot of setup, but we get to draw a card. And, like, it's not going to get much better than this, if I'm being honest, outside of, like, just having the combo already in hand, which you can't keep mulling until you find. Let's be real. Opponent mulled to 6. Polluted Delta, great. Oh, man, what do you mean my opponent's also playing blue in Legacy? How dare they? Oh, well, plenty of fast mana. We'll just get an island, a couple other reds, and Show and Tell Ponder, so top. Now, if we get Thought Seized, that's on me. I guess I did see a Polluted Delta, so we should have taken into account black mana is a thing, and it's a very popular thing in Magic the Gathering right now, thanks to the Orcish Bowmasters, which, you know, I too am an enjoyer of. Here's a full art foil one on my desk. Underground Sea. This is a different guy, right? This isn't the same guy who just schooled us? I don't think this is the same guy who just schooled us. Jeez. Hey, does anyone here want to learn how to not play Magic the Gathering? Why don't you watch the Dorkator YouTube channel? You'll learn all sorts of ways how to not play Sneak and Show by saying what you're not supposed to do so that your opponent can then do it and take the show and tell, because why wouldn't you take the show and tell? And when you absolutely just dumpster yourself, man. What are you waiting on, big guy? You know there's only one answer. Like, if I was playing in paper, I would just slowly be moving the show and tell to the graveyard. Okay, so it took them like 2.5 minutes, but they finally realized that show and tell was the thing to take. I am bad at Magic the Gathering. Their Underground Sea. What else you got? I mean, you really shouldn't cast anything at this point because you know I have days. Just gonna leave that up. Sure thing, boss. All right, there's that Ponder that we should have had in our hand. Sneak attack. All right, so if we go days, sneak attack, spirit guide, shuffle library, no. Play out the Lotus Petal. Next turn we can try and get the sneak attack down. We'll have, I mean, in the very best, a days backup, which is not the best backup to an opponent who's not going to play any mana, but try our best. Obviously, combo works best against decks that don't have counterspells. See the first match. But, yeah, maybe they just kept a handful of black cards, like Snuff Out and Fatal Push. Dark Ritual, sure. Oh, is this Storm? Do we just lose because of Doomsday? Doomsday. Woof. Welcome to Brian plays people who are better at Magic the Gathering than him. Dude gets to Doomsday Pile. Rough. You know, I had a video recorded where, you know, I only had one loss, a little bit of a punt in the last game, but, you know, it was a fine video, but OBS decided that it needed to sound awful, and I couldn't salvage any of it. And now here I am, making every single mistake. And now that I'm doing that, I get to share it with all of you. Who doesn't like seeing me get just humbled on just an absolutely just high as you can level? Because next turn I get to play, you know, sneak attack if I get a next turn, but I'm not going to get a turn after that, you know? Unless our opponent is like new to Doom, like I can never make Doomsday work. But I have to assume somebody who came online and joined the queue and, you know, did all this and, you know, I have to assume that that person like knows how to play Doomsday. And also, if we're counting punt counters, if I hadn't punted and put show and tell in my hand when I didn't need to, then, you know, we would have, necessarily, okay, no, they're putting the 5 cards in there now. We could have had, you know, an Atraxa, and we would have been much better, but, you know, here we are. This petal's fine. There's that sneak attack. We had one more mana, we could Emrakul them, but we don't. Oh, I don't actually have a red mana. This is going to be great. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, so I think they win because they should have enough cyclers and they should have the 1 mana backup with Lotus Petal to cast the Oracle. So they float 2 mana and sack them with Edge of Autumn. Toss's Oracle. Oh, I think I just do that. All right, I'm bad at Magic. Well, that was fun. Brutal. I guess Blood Moons. Do we actually want to change anything? I don't think I want to change anything. Yeah, no, let's just go. Yoki, we get to play first. Sure. In theory, this helps us dig. As long as they don't go off turn 1. I think they'd want to, seize us before they try and go off, because if we have counters, we could just stop them and, you know, win, and then they have nothing in their deck anymore. All right, play an island and pass. Underground Sea into a Thoughtseize or a Duress. Brief. Ooh, buddy. Taking a real hard time, I mean, here's the thing. If you can counter my Brainstorm, take the show and tell, and, you know, go about your business. Because the thing is, even if I, like, unless, like, the 3 cards are, like, Atraxa, there's, like, very little I'm going to be protecting here that doesn't slow me down quite a bit. Fascinating. So if I put back, what? I put back show and tell, I put back Emrakul. Is they're going to take whatever I don't put back? Probably the sneak attack on that. So if I put back Emrakul and then show and tell, I think that's just the best we can ask for. Okay. Even if they double do us now, hopefully by the time we redraw Emrakul, we can kind of go off a bit. Yep, we knew that was gonna. Lotus Petal, Mountain, Pass. They know we have nothing in our hand now, though. So if they can go off and just win, then they get to go off and win. And like all we're gonna do is play Emrakul and then pass the turn. But I honestly think they got us here. Sneak and Show is not a good deck if people are interacting with you. I realize that's a silly thing to say because, again, a lot of decks in Legacy are blue, and now, thanks to Orcish Bowmasters, a lot of decks in Legacy are black. Present Company excluded, obviously. You know, these guys were in black before Orcish Bowmasters were a thing. All right, our opponent's brainstorming, which hopefully means we have a turn to try and get off the show and tell. I don't want to hold on to the show and tell, only because, like, they have so much hand disruption. They have Thoughtseize, Grief, and Duress. So I am hoping that they just brainstorm and pass. That would be ideal. Because actually, now that I think about it, and that has been the theme of today's Brian is awful at Magic video, I probably should have put the Emrakul in my hand first, and then if they duressed, it wouldn't have worked. If they duress now, yeah, clearly I should just cut the video there, but, you know, you can't always do that. All right, what do you got, big guy? They're Underground Sea. Please don't hand disrupt me. Oh, into Doomsday? Oh, into Ponder. Okay. We might be quick enough. I mean, if they have counters, they have counters. But if they don't have counters, then we might have a world somewhere where we get away with this and at least get to game 3. There's Emrakul. I'm going to play the City of Traders in case they have some weird, counter in less shenanigans going on, but I don't think Doomsday bothered. If they just have Force of Will, though, out of their last 3 cards, Force of Will blue card, Mystical Dispute. Oh, that hurts so much. It's almost like in Legacy, they don't want you to resolve your spells, huh? Well, at least I won the first match. Oh boy. Oh boy. I plan on playing Sneak and Show this Friday at a paper tournament. I can't wait to have this in person. Is no one really playing like Reanimator or Depths, Taxes, like even Taxes, Elves? I'd love to see an Elves game. Oh boy. Nothing. I just have to start digging through the deck. I'm hoping in their hand they also have nothing. Well, they're not going to go off a Doomsday with an island. They consider. Modern All-Star consider. That's the thing about Doomsday. They don't even have the the dignity to make it quick. Crack. Bulk. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Oh, man. There are times where you play a lot of lands and you just don't feel great about it. There are also times where, looked at my hand with Peak. Good. I can just yield until my upkeep now or my main phase. Stop that. I suppose we want to crack our fetch so we don't draw more lands. Or seemingly we crack our fetch and then we draw more lands anyway. Because let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's only 10 more lands in the deck. There are 47 cards in the deck. So it would be increasingly unlikely that I would just, draw another land. There's Doomsday. Go for it. Ponder. So next turn, we would need to draw a Brainstorm. And then off of Brainstorm, we would need to find Show and Tell, Omniscience. And that's the only way we win this game. Opponent, you literally have no more game actions. Please pass the turn. Come on, deck. No more lands. No more mana sources. We need literally Brainstorm. That could work too. Please don't have any more counters, opponent. Did you keep a counter? Oh man, this is why you don't early scoop. So yeah, got there. So that happened, which was nice. Dazes aren't going to do anything at this point. Guess we could put in the Blood Moons. 1 Arcane Artisan to try and get our stuff out slightly faster. Try that. Okay, so we're on the draw. They're gonna Thoughtseize us. So they take what? Emrakul? And then we have 3 cantrips to try and come back. I don't think it's worth mulliganing against a deck that's definitely going to hand disrupt us on the first turn, especially when we have everything. And hopefully between 3 cantrips, they kept 7, that's never a good sign. When hopefully we have 3 cantrips to kind of come back from whatever their disruption is. I know you got it. Fire it off. Come on, big guy. Pow pow. Thoughtseize. Yep, there it is. So we have backup. I mean, if they have multiple hand disruption and they take sneak attack and next turn take show and tell, or rather the other way around, I guess would make more sense. There's that, but I think what we'll do next turn is ponder, because I don't feel like getting brain locked at the moment. I mean, also, this is kind of showing them that they just get to go off next turn if they can. Another ponder. Well, that's not necessarily what I would say. Ponder, what do you got? Storm. The Blood Moon. We're not going to be able to do that in time, but we can go Blood Moon, Brainstorm, Tarn, not shuffle the library. Next turn, we do get to cantrip twice, and we get to shuffle away the Blood Moon that is just not going to be fast enough. Thoughtseize again. All right, there goes Sneak Attack. Actually, if they want to take Emrakul and force me to shuffle my library, that's actually fine by me. In fact, it's almost preferred. Sweet. All right, so now we have anything on top of our deck, and we have a Brainstorm and a Scalding Tarn, so that works. Another Scalding Tarn. Eat. Now this is slightly different. So we'll put back the island. We'll put back... Actually, no, we'll go fetch the island, so we can definitely put that back. We give up on that. I think actually the Scalding Tarn. We want the Ancient Tomb for next turn. Go get an island. And then I guess Ponder shows us the most. Force of Will, Show and Tell, Lotus Petal. So Lotus Petal, then Show and Tell, then Force of Will. No shuffling. We have a Force of Will now. The thing is though, if they just go to hand disrupt us a third time, we kind of just have to let them. I don't think Force of Willing a, hand disruption and getting rid of Preordain is correct. If they want to get rid of Blood Moon, that's fine. Actually, is that fine? Because do we have the ability just to kind of slow them down super hard? They'd have to have a Dark Ritual at that point to go off. We have the Show and Tell, but I think we just Blood Moon. And now we definitely force, if we're so lucky to have this resolve. We have a Lotus Petal on top, so next turn we can try and just play Sneak Attack. I think they're trying to see if they care about Blood Moon. Force of Will. Pitching Daze. Okay, so they care about it, so suddenly I care about it. I mean, this could just be playing us, but there's enough, like, lag here. Okay, they're gonna Brainstorm, which is fine. We also get to preordain, right? Well, it doesn't matter if we do this now. Loaded, okay, so Polluted Delta, bottom, Lotus Petal, top. Put this out now. Ship the turn. Actually, well, I guess Lotus Petal's slightly better because it's a second blue source if for whatever reason we find ourselves needing that. If they just go Dark Ritual, like, into Doomsday, then we play it ourselves. Why do I talk? Why do I talk? So, what? They're gonna need Lotus Petals to get the blue for Thassa's Oracle? I mean, if we top deck a creature, though I think we know the last card, right? Like, some irrelevant thing. Oh, wait, no, we preordained, so we don't actually know. So if we like, top deck a creature, that'd be... When it's taking their time here, they only have 3.5 minutes to, end the game out here, though. They should be able to get it, though. It also probably helps them that we have no plan. So if they can win in the next 3 minutes and 10 seconds, good for them. Because, like, they don't have an island, I don't think, you know? You need the Thassa's Oracle for the win, right? So what you need is Lotus Petal, Lotus Petal. Is there more than one Lotus Petal, though? I think there is. So it depends on what they have in their hand, too, because they need the Thoracle, their Street Wraiths, and then Petal Petal. That's the pile, right? What's taking so long? Because they actually know I have Thoughtseize. Like, it's from my original hand. Oh, okay, so they finally got there. They're coming under the gun, having to win in 2 minutes. This is why I, like, personally don't play Doomsday, because it is just a rough match. Shimmy and Spirit God. How about that? Well, next turn we could just hard cast that, but I would rather have the Spirit Guide in my hand for next turn. All right, can you win, opponent? So you need another, oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna cast a monkey. I'm gonna beat you to death with my monkey. But then again, you get to draw your next Doomsday pile card, so I have to assume you win here, because I whiffed, you know? I did everything I could, I disrupted you with Blood Moon, but I have to assume you have a way out of this, because you got to Doomsday. The question is, can you do it in the next minute and 20 seconds? Come on, I'll keep that in hand, no reason to play. I have red mana to do. They have red mana to do. Edge of Autumn, okay. Draw a card. What are they doing with the red mana, though? They're down to their last card. Oh, I would have thought we'd be dead. Don't fail me now, deck. You're failing me, deck. Dig a little bit deeper. Oh. Well, I guess we have the Force of Will. Come in with Simi. They get to draw their last card, right? Hold on, I have to look up Thassa's Oracle. So Thassa's Oracle has to actually enter the battlefield. The question is, I don't know if they have another Lotus Petal. Because if the cards in their hand are Thassa's Oracle and a Force of Will, I should force the Lotus Petal. Versus... yeah, they do have multiple. They normally have like 3, so I guess we have to let this go. All right, is your last thing a Force of Will and a blue card? We get there. All right, we snuck that one. We snatched that one from the jaws of defeat. Let's go to game 4. All right, we won another die roll. Hip, hip, hooray. And, this seems like a trap. I'm going to throw this back. I think this is not nearly good enough. This is more or less just a 5 mana hand. Keep this, putting Atraxa back. Hope we draw into good stuff. I mean, you don't want to go down too far with show and tell because you do need quite a few pieces to get it to work. I realize 2 is not a lot, but the mana to get there in the middle of Legacy with some backup is important. Our opponent mulled to 6, draws, goes to 7, and they're playing blue. Come on, nobody wants to give me a free win anymore. Everyone's smart in playing blue. How do you have hand disrupt? Mother! Okay. They take sneak attack. Yeah, see, I'm a mighty wizard. I know what's going to happen before it happens. So I don't know what they're doing, so I'm just going to go to basic because they could have wastelands. I hope to draw a show and tell. I draw a polluted delta instead. Because the magic gods do not like me from time to time, and now is no exception. We get to learn a little bit more about what our opponent's doing. So they do a blue, Baleful Strix. I mean, this could be anything. It's weird that they have a whole bunch of basics, but okay. They definitely have a counter in their hand. But we're also at the point where we just have to kind of hope preordain. All right, what do you got for me? Another sneak attack and a Lotus Petal. So we're not going to cast the sneak attack this turn, so that goes on top first, and then the Lotus Petal goes on top. Cast the Lotus Petal, we play the mountain, and we ship the turn. And then next turn we have a little extra mana. I mean, it's going to get countered. It's just going to get countered, but we can try. And if somehow it doesn't get countered, we can just Emrakul them out of the game. But they're playing blue. They have 6 cards in hand. They got to redraw with Baleful Strix. They have a counter spell. They absolutely absolutely positively have Force of Will plus blue card. Ponder, sure thing. So here's the other side of it, because I could right now just play into their definite counterspell, get countered, and then I have nothing, and then I'm just trying to rip off the top. Or I can try and hold, because they're not doing a ton either, and wait until I have more things to do. Screw it. I am not a patient man. And Force of Will. Oh, why? This is why you always make them have it. I love when my incredibly bad Magic playing works. Oh, that's amazing. All right. So they're doing some kind of control-y thing. Take some Arcane Artisans. Take the defense grids. Defense grids seem good. Take the Dazes out. Put the defense grids in as replacements. What else do I want? The Blood Moons really don't seem to be doing much. Arcane Artisan, I guess I don't need it. I don't know. Maybe let's just try this. Let's see what happens. That is short is a hand. All right. So did our opponent keep? No, they kept 7. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep only because I'm hoping off the Preordain to find something of note, and then we can just jam Show and Tells until we win. So play the Island rather than the Volk. Preordain, Atraxa, and an Ancient Tomb. Sweet. So top. And then starting next turn, every turn we just play a Show and Tell until they run out of action. Eventually they're gonna let me get my guy on the board. I don't know if it's Atraxa or Emrakul at this point, if I'm being honest. Brainstorm, sure. We'll see. I mean, how do they get rid of Emrakul if it hits the board? I guess they could have a Brazen Borrower. They can have any sort of bounce spell. They can have a Twara. I guess you do play Atraxa because you get that value. Thought Seize. Oh, wait, no, there goes the Atraxa. They're going to take Emrakul. Oh, no, tragedy. So we lose the Atraxa because they're going to choose Emrakul. Oh, they chose a Show and Tell. Fascinating. They must have an answer for Emrakul. Well, let's see how many ways they counter me. Oh, cool. Kermit Angler. All right, so we'll take in... Oh, and we win the match. Yeah, that's a thing that happens. Let's go on to the final round. All right, so we're 3-1 at the moment. Our opponent finally won a die roll. We have 1 cantrip, which is a Brainstorm, counter backup. So there's a risk here, because if we Brainstorm and we don't find any other land, we sit here and lose. But you know what? I got a game to lose. I'll go ahead and be greedy. Now, again, looking right into the camera, this is greedy. This is a calculated risk that we're going to find what we need off of our Brainstorm. But I have so many of the other pieces I wanted to give it a shot. Please be playing Show and Tell. Please be playing Show and Tell, opponent. Okay, our opponent ponders. They have a Scalding Tarn. They could be playing Show and Tell. If they're playing Show and Tell, that'd be amazing. I have an Omniscience. Nothing yet. City of Traders. Okay, so we're even getting there. Island and just pass the turn. If he plays black mana, then they might just get us with Orcish Bowmasters, but oh well. Where's a Saga? Okay, could be 8 cast. Oh, Scalding Tarn. Brainstorm? Please don't daze me. Hey, all right. Let's see. Put back Preordain, put back Ponder. So we can Ponder to try and find a different land, or I can just try and fight him to get down Sneak Attack, but then I don't actually have a red source. I'm going to assume they're not going to combo off here. I'm going to try. We have a Ponder to try and go find the red source, because we're gonna pitch the Daze with the Force of Will. Force of Will, sure thing. Dark Amoeba. Oh, this must be like a sort of Vengevine deck. Only have the one. Okay. So what our opponent doesn't know is next turn we don't actually have a red source. So have at it, opponent. We need to find a red source in our top 4 essentially, because we're gonna draw Preordain. So then we can Ponder, but then off of that we need to find something red. Oh, it's Cephalid Breakfast. Okay, well we have exactly oh, they're already able to go... Oh, okay. They're already going off. They're going to be able to Cabal Therapy. Probably the Emrakul hand. Oh, but now they can just Thassa's Oracle. Okay. Okay, so they were 1 turn faster than us. They got there. And then they kill everything and they Thassa's. Cabal Therapy, sure. I guess, do they only have 1 dread? Oh, I guess after the 1 dread return, there's nothing they could do here. Yep, and that's the game. GG, opponent. Well then, Surgicals. Defense grids are probably fine. Raft Diggers. So. Take some Preordains out. Take 2 Lotus Petals out. Take 1 Omniscience out. 1 card difference. Take a Daze out. Sure. Try that. All right. Now we know what we're up against. Surgical. Is that enough to keep this hand? Let's try it. At the end of the night, not entirely sure how to play against Cephalid Breakfast. I haven't played against it much. Mulligan to 5 cards, so they're really pulling deep here. All right. Play a Flooded. Actually, no, we'll just play this in case we want to Brainstorm. Oh, okay. So that and that and that. Shuffle library, no. So next turn we have our Cage. Chose to shuffle their library with Ponder, which is a good sign. All right, well, we'll shuffle shuffle away Mountain, because we don't need that. Just a Volk. And play a Grafdigger's Cage. Alright, that should stop stuff until they get rid of it. Unless they have a secondary combo that I'm just unaware of. Again, I haven't played against Cephalid Breakfast a lot in Brainstorm. And at this point, we would like to just not draw mana sources anymore. We'd like to draw payoffs. Like an Atraxa would be amazing right about now. Anything about the Nomads? Another Grafdigger's Cage. Well, as long as they don't use Echoing Truth, that might actually be helpful. Bulk, Grafdigger's Cage. Just going to attack me with Nomads. That's great. That's amazing. All right. We'd now like to start drawing some payoffs. And ponder. Doing a lot of thinking on this. Again, I edit these videos, so if you look up in the top corner there, you can see that their time goes down. It's just when I'm not talking, nothing's really happening, so it's there, so I cut it. But dude's been pondering for a minute here. Oh, he's finally done. Thank God. All right, and they go to the end step. Yeah, I got nothing. My turn. No more lands, deck. I'm done with lands, thank you. I do not want any more lands. Yep, they attack me. They got a 17-turn clock. Come get me. Brainstorm. Seems like they're going to be brain locked first. It sure be nice if I could, draw something of note. Defense grid. No, I don't. I don't think it's going to be defense grid. I think we passed the turn. Again, I did third Art of Brainstorm? Oh no, second Art of Brainstorm. Just really trying to dig for a land at this point. I am finding all of my sideboard cards though. Ponder. Okay. Sneak attack, Simeon. Don't actually think this is where we want to be. We're a sneak attack anyway. Play a Volk. I guess we just kind of play this into account. No, we'll give it a minute. They're not doing anything. I think they have one more turn before actually no, they're gonna have 2 turns before they find anything of note because they're brain locked. And like if we draw another land here, we get to play defense grid, and then if they don't do anything, Stoneforge Mystic, that's gonna go get a quicker clock. Ultra complete. So need to do something because suddenly they're gonna hit a lot harder. Brainstorm. Let's start with Brainstorm. Ooh, that's not good. That is very, very bad. Very bad. So they're gonna hit me for 2 turns, huh? Rough. Don't think defense grid's where we're at. Don't think Lotus Petal did right now. Play Simeon, because oh man, we don't actually have many turns now. We have 3 more turns. We're only gonna see 1 non-known draw unless we surgical literally ourselves. Which honestly, I'm thinking about doing. I know, we just let that through. I'm gonna surgical myself. I'm gonna surgical out Scalding Tarn. Oh, the deck. Daze. Alright, that's unfortunate. They probably have a counter in their hand. Could have just played Daze. I think that actually kills us now, too. That was a misplay. Force of Negation. Doesn't matter. I mean, I didn't have anything anyway, but it's funnier this way. If they just attack with everything, we die. I'd be real upset if our next card's Atraxa, because we could have honestly survived. Actually, never mind. Never mind. Alright, now we're super dead. If they see the line, just attack with everything, buddy. Yep. Yep. All right, so it didn't actually matter that we took a damage off of Force of Will, but let's see what the card would have been. Yeah, when you draw so much land, you draw so much land. All right, so with the exception of that last game where literally Atraxa was our next card, and who knows, they might have had more counter spells. We were dead anyway because they drew that weird equipment thing, but 3-2, about as good as I do on any given day with this deck. Is this the best version? I don't know. I mean, maybe having non-Atraxas or less Atraxas is better. The version of the deck I'm playing in paper right now actually only plays 3 Atraxas, 2 Grizzlebrands. I think they're good. I think they're neat. Show and Tell is a very interesting deck to be playing, though, because it does do very, very well in certain metas and kind of horrible in others. And tonight, 3-2, that's positive, and you saw me play through my punts. But again, the games I lost, I kind of definitively lost. That one at the end, like, I lost that even if I didn't make the punts. The first one I lost, okay, maybe there's an argument to be made there. But hey, I had fun. I hope you guys did too. Thank you all for coming along, and I will catch you next time. If you have a list you want to see me try, go ahead and send it over to heydummyplaythat. heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. The email address is right there, and it's in the description as well. Thank you guys very much. Thank you all for watching, and later.